Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about visual storytelling and about how it can really be a driving factor in your art and make something a lot more enjoyable for the viewer and for yourself as well. And this is something that I don't really do a lot of on my Instagram account. If you see my account, a lot of it is just kind of single animals or single objects and things. And it's something that I really want to work on over the next couple weeks and months and so on and so forth. So I'm actually using a previous prompt, the Mimi Moo Illustration Sweet Timber Days prompt that I did in a video a couple days ago, which if you want to check that out, I'll go ahead and link that for y'all here. And I'm going to be using that to learn a little bit more about visual storytelling and explain to y'all my thought process for visual storytelling. Now, before we get to the piece that actually will end up having been posted on Instagram by the time this video releases, I want to talk about another post that I began working on that I actually didn't get too far in. And it's because, as I said, my lack of storytelling visually, my lack of visual storytelling has not been the best. So I actually began working on this prompt here, which is Nature Walk, and started creating a little walking through nature scene with Poe, who is a penguin character that I've come up with and is one of my favorite animals. And even though he is one of my favorite animals and something that I really liked, I began creating this scene and I really something didn't just feel right, or something just did not feel right. The main thing for me was that a lot of this, even though I'm gonna go and fast forward a little bit for y'all and get to this coloring stage, even though this scene is something that could make sense and could work, it just doesn't feel quite compelling to me. It doesn't really give me a vibe that I want, which is something that's a little bit more homey, a little bit more nature, and a little bit more just like interactive and feels just a little bit more immersive. I feel like in this scene there really isn't much to look at. It kind of seems a little bland to me. And obviously there's a lot more things that I could have done with this piece, but because of that feeling that I had, I decided that I'm actually not going to do this and do something else. So when I was stuck in this state, one of the things that I did was I actually went onto Pinterest. Again, this is something that I always recommend you do, and just check out things that want to match your vibe and want to match what you're going for. So what I did was I actually looked through some nature stuff, looked through some cute illustrations of nature and just cute environments in general. Again, I used amazing artist Steph Scribbles, who is on Pinterest a lot because other people tag them there. And if you want to check out how to use Pinterest, be sure to click another link that I'll be having somewhere around here that talks about how I use Pinterest for my art. And I keep doing all this though, right? And I eventually get to the point where I'm like, okay, I think I have a pretty solid idea, and what I start doing is I start making this illustration. This illustration is a little bit off from the prompt, as the prompt is Nature Walk, but it's something that I feel like compels the visual audience, or the audience, a bit more than what I previously had. So in this, I'm creating a story of another one of my characters, Davy, who is the clueless bear, getting stuck in the forest, and he's so small that he's able to fit on this little leaf, and he's looking at his mini-map, he's looking at his little map and deciding, oh, I don't know where to go, what am I going to do next? And even though this is something that like doesn't really have that much of a story to it, or doesn't feel like it has much of a story to it, it's something that I still found to be super inspiring to myself, and something that is a big step forward for me, as I really haven't done a lot of visual storytelling, and this still gives some kind of story. And you can see that I spent a lot of time here actually struggling with the eyes, but that's okay. And I was able to work on this and kind of create this scene, a little bit more of an interactive scene for the audience, something that's a little more homey for me and makes me feel a little bit better working towards my visual storytelling skills, right? So even though today is just one big leaf and just a character with a little map, it still tells a much greater story than things I've done in the past, and does put me on the path towards better visual storytelling in the future. And I'm gonna just finish this out with this font, and yeah, that's pretty much how I wanted to explain visual storytelling to you guys. I wanted to give y'all a little bit of an insight of, even though this is something that I've been doing, or art on Instagram, I've been doing it for about 3 years now, it's still something that I struggle with a lot, and still something I'm always improving on, and just giving y'all an insight to the art world, and that this is not necessarily just me being perfect or me getting everything right the first time. So I hope this video really helped. I hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to leave a like, a comment, and to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And be sure to check out my Instagram as well, as I post characters like Davy and Poe every single day, and along with a bunch of other things like draw this in your style challenges like Pokemon fan art, as I've done in previous videos, and other things like this Sweet Timber Days prompt. So if you'd like to see more of that content, please be sure to check out all that stuff. And until then, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.